Hello everybody, Ian Robson here for another episode of Missouri. Alright, we got things going on today. Let me just show you what we finished, or I just finished, say. So 47, this is a rather large field. It took quite a long time to get it done, even with that enormous seeder that we have, this little setup right here. And it took quite a long time to get it done. This is a 20-meter seeder, so I was kind of surprised how much that took. Considering it's only one field too, albeit it's a pretty large field, so that's probably part of the reason why it did take so long. What we might do is we might get another one. I don't think this seeder, I don't like the way this thing acts, especially with this back part here. So when you go over certain areas, it'll actually move all around and be all really strange. I don't know, it kind of locks into place on the one side. It happened quite a few times off camera and it's not that much fun. And also, this setup, while it works in normal situations, in the soil mod edition, not that helpful. So you kind of need this for seeds and whatnot, but in this scenario it doesn't work very well. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, there's one thing I did want to do though. We have... Actually, let's go over here. This guy, I did a little bit more, and this takes forever to do with this speed rower. I had no, I had it because I have to do it all manually, because that one doesn't work so well with courseplay. It feels like it takes forever to do because it is so small. Well, small is a relative term in this scenario. Like this thing is, I think it is 8 meters, not even 8 meters, maybe 6 meters, something like that. It's not very large is what I'm trying to say, so it does take quite a long time in order to get it done by yourself. So either I might get another speed rower or something like that and have two at the same time, or I don't know, we'll see. Anyways, the one thing we do need to do, 101 horses, oh yeah. The one thing we do need to do is we need to get a TMR mixer. Actually, no we don't. What am I talking about? We need to get some straw. Don't need a TMR mixer. We need something that will carry TMR, but not say a TMR mixer. That's true. Also, I put a lot of the stuff away in here for next time. What we do need to do is, let's just see here. I'm just debating whether I should bale up the hay we have or accelerate time, because if you don't bale it up in the same day, you lose some of the material. So see, this is fertilized, or it won't say it's fertilized because there's nothing in the, it knows there's oats, but with soil addition it won't be fertilized until after stage 1 or 2 basically. So that's one downfall of that setup. Anyhow, originally when I started this map it didn't have soil mod on it, and now I do. I forgot how pointless that was. That setup at least. Anyways, so what we're going to do is we are going to accelerate time. I'm just debating whether we should ted that hay and rake it together and bale it or not. That's what I'm thinking about right now. You know what we'll do? We'll accelerate time first, and then we can at least fertilize. So let's go accelerate time 1 day. If we lose a little bit of hay, I'm not that worried about it. Oh, that's interesting. I don't have a little growth to control at the top. Oh, maybe the... Huh, that's weird. That's really strange. The reason why I say it's strange, because normally when you have the soil mod installed and everything, at the top, in the top center, you'll get a little thing that says growth control, and it'll talk about the seeds changing and whatnot. But nothing appeared to happen there. So maybe it takes longer than a day? That might be the case, actually. Let's go check over here quickly. I don't know. Nothing happened over there. That's kind of strange, actually. So maybe, because I said growth control, I don't know exactly what that does. So let's just see. So normally what happened would be in stage 1. These oats would be in stage 1. But this fertilizer hasn't done anything yet, and there's no oats growing here. Despite the fact it says there's oats here. So let's look at the growth. It says they're growing. That's strange. Let's try that again. Nothing's happening yet. That's really strange. So normally with a soil mod, what happens is this would be in stage 1. So I don't know what the heck's going on right now. Nothing still. Let's try going to the next day and see. Still, oh, there it goes. Okay, so it takes 2 days. Oh, okay. Okay, so now it's working. So now it's going to be at stage 1. So that's what the growth control is. So they changed it so instead of just being 1 day, it's actually like 2 days. Okay, that makes sense now. Oh, it's not terrible, I guess. I guess it gives you time to do other things, but right now, I really don't need to do... there's nothing really I can do on this particular field. So that's interesting. So that means that this grass will probably see... I don't know if it's going to show it, but it will decrease a little bit. I'm just going to sit here and watch it for a second just to see. Oh, apparently it regrew. Huh. That's not what I thought was going to happen. That's really strange, actually. I wonder why it's doing like that. Just normally what that's strange. I don't know what they did to this map, so I guess this is in stage 1, I suppose. Looks like it, I guess. Alright, well, I guess it's in stage 1 then. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell, actually. But the oats, there's the oats are growing at least, which is good. I haven't seen any weeds yet, which is good. What we'll do is we will hop into, where is it? This guy right here. And we'll give this a go. I'm going to try it at least once. Ugh, it's these side cameras. Where is it? Let's get some fertilizer. So oats. What type of fertilizer do oats like? Do they like... Oats like fertilizer A. Oh, here we are. Perfect. So let's get a little bit of fertilizer A and we'll spray the oats. A little bit of fertilizer and see how that goes. Because we need the straw. That's what it boils down to. Because if we don't get straw, we can't make TMR for our animals at the moment. We also need some way to transport the TMR as well. This is kind of a funny little consideration, but I'm actually considering getting the big crone, only because I don't use it very often. And the little speed rower takes forever. So some of you may not like that, some of you may like that, I don't know. We'll see. Alright, so let's go ahead and spread this field. I really don't like these roads. I have to remember that I shouldn't drive at breakneck speed along here. Alright, so we got our John Deere fertilizer spreader. 33 meters, that's not too bad. Alright. Oh, I can't go that fast. I guess it's 30 kilometers an hour is the maximum, I guess. Oh, that's why. It's the mirrors on this thing. Can I turn the mirrors off? Full spare, turn spare. No. Looks like I can't. That's why it's so laggy. That's why it's so laggy around this thing, is because those mirrors. Usually, a lot of times in Farm Sim, whenever you have mirrors involved, it is really laggy. In this game, at least. Apparently in 2015, though, they are going to have, I believe, they're going to have working mirrors. From what I saw, at least, so. Should be pretty interesting. But that's interesting to note that this game, or this particular map, takes 2 days instead of 1 day. So I guess that's what the growth control is all about on this particular one. So, also, I did find out you can turn with the GPS mod using the keyboard, which is kind of interesting. It was the first time I tried. I was messing around off camera to try something different, and I realized you could actually turn using the keyboard with the GPS mod. So normally what I would do is I would just click this, but you actually don't need to at all, which is kind of interesting. So, oh, that's strange how you can do that. Did I miss? It looks like I missed a little strip there. Ha! There's a little strip. See that? There's a little strip all the way in the whole field. So obviously it's a little bit too big. That's funny. It's like this perfect size. It's like this exactly the same size as the spreader almost. Anyways. So if you hit Control and then you hit your left key, that will actually turn the implement you're driving. Obviously, it's not very realistic driving through that stuff, but so that's how you can turn your implement with the GPS mod if you have it running. So right now I have it in autopilot mode, so it's going in a straight line basically. So if you hit control and then left, it'll turn left, and control and then right, it'll turn right apparently. So you can make it do it automatically as well if you want to. Those two cameras just throw me off. You can make it turn left and right if you want to as well. So alright, so fertilizer, synthetic. We don't have, maybe we do actually. I didn't even look. We might actually have some, yeah, there we go. Liquid manure at the cows. 200,000 liters. Oh well, it's too late now. Nothing at the horses, and a little bit of wheat. And whatever that does. Don't know why it's doing that, but it might be because I think it might be because I have two maps with soil mod, but that shouldn't be the case. It should work perfectly fine without it. I don't know why. It's possible that that's the reason why. It's possible that's the reason why it doesn't, but it's hard to say. I don't know. Some people really like this particular sprayer. I'm not a. So far, I'm not a big fan of it at the moment. Those mirrors cause me lag. The model itself's not nearly as nice as the. I know. I find the Rogators a lot nicer. But for most people want a John Deere sprayer, this one's decent. It's funny because the Rogator actually does have mirrors too, but you can turn them on and off if you want to. So that's one of the nice things about it. Alright, so let's see what we get to the end here. So we're at the end almost. Let's make a turn. There we go. Fertilize the road a little bit there. There we go. Nice. Watch the arms. Jeez. So what we'll be able to do is we'll be able to fertilize this field, and then what we'll be able to do is get some straw, bale the straw. And we'll get a crazy amount of straw actually, now that I think about it. It'll be quite a lot of straw, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think what actually this has the chopped straw mod in it. I'll be able to use that as well, so that'll be considered organic fertilizer. So maybe what I'll do is I'll do a few bales that I need and then just chop the rest and then see how that works, because I've never tried that before. I think all you need to do basically is you just need to cultivate it in or plow it under. I'm not sure which one it is. One or the other basically. And then from there you can basically just do that, and then you should get organic fertilizer level 1, I think it is. I feel like you should be able to turn that off. Doesn't appear like any of the keypad buttons do anything. Sometimes the keypad buttons obviously do something and sometimes they don't, so. In this scenario they don't do much. Alright. Nice. It's not taking, how far are we? We're this far, so it shouldn't take too long to do the whole field. Let's go to this mode and just see how wide it actually is. 33, yeah, it is 33.8 meters. So it's fairly wide actually. Doesn't look that wide though. Ugh. Doesn't look that wide like this, but I guess it really is wide. Good to know. Let's make a turn here. Probably shouldn't drive through that tree, but thankfully you can. I don't know, there's different, I guess there's lots of different ways to do this. The funny thing is with a soil mod, you basically, there's like certain things you basically have to do. So if you want to get any yield at all, you need to be above a certain pH level, that's for sure. If you want to progress, basically you have to use fertilizer, because you can easily not make any money at all with the soil mod if you're not careful. So mainly because of the way it works, right? A little bit of early morning spraying. I don't know. Sometimes I remember I read an article a while back about spraying in the early morning and whether it's good or bad. I know in some cases a lot of people don't do it, but I think the effect of it is actually not a crazy amount. Like, the difference is not, it's not less effective because there's dew on the leaves or something like that. So it's kind of interesting. Lots of science behind it. I'm not an expert, not by any means. There's so much out there I don't know yet, so. It's always surprising how much information is out there. And they're always testing and farming too. Always trying to find out what's the best thing to do, or like for example, a lot of people don't do cover crops yet just because the cost involved in it. But if they're concerned about the environment sort of thing, they might use a bit more cover. They might go for the cover crops in the sense that of like soil. I guess it would be soil management, I guess would be the word I'm looking for. So in the sense that you use cover crops in order to maintain the health of your soil, like keeping it a fibrous soil as opposed to having it erode, basically. So, and that's why a lot of people go to things like no-till or strip-till. I know is another big thing at the moment. Trying to reduce the amount of tillage people do. So it all really depends on personal preferences and whatnot. So nice. Only that much of the field to go. Jeez. As you can see, it is quite a big field, and I really should have chosen maybe a smaller field to start off with. But this one should give us, in quotation marks, should give us enough money to get started at least. Well, not money to get started, but enough straw money. I have $1 million already. It's not a big deal. Yeah, it should give us enough money to get the straw so we can get those horses rolling. And then we'll see what we actually do with them. I don't know if you have to actually transport the horses. I don't know how that's supposed to work. Like, I don't know if you sell them or not. But like I said, if you have played on this map and you know how that works, let me know. Because I am kind of curious as to whether you actually sell the horses on this map or you take them to a racetrack or something. I don't know. Obviously, I haven't seen any racetrack labeled, so I don't think that's what you do with them. But just a thought. Like I know here in Ontario, horse racing was a big thing, and there was a bit of a scare about it. So there was a time when you could buy a racing horse for a pretty ridiculously cheap price. Although it's kind of gone down now, so. It's not too bad. How much did I miss in that little corner there? I can't see anymore. I haven't turned my graphics card back up. I've been doing a little bit of a stint of recording / playing, so it's probably the reason why I haven't changed the graphics settings yet. And like I mentioned, I was considering changing the texture for the grass as well, just to see whether or not I could change to something that I might like a bit more, but all in all, it's pretty decent, so I don't know what to do. It's funny. I really can't do much else right now because we don't have much else going on at the moment. Just because we do need to fertilize this field, and if we don't, we're not going to get anything off this field. Basically, how much do we have left in this? Still just over half a tank. Still, that's not bad at all, actually. And we are using the right fertilizer. Yes, fertilizer A. This is good. So far, I haven't seen any weeds at all yet, which is good to see. So this map really lends itself to animals, I guess, then, because by having this many, well, that much time between harvests, you really have the benefit of using the slurry and the manure and whatnot. It is more realistic, which is kind of nice. But it does mean you're going to be fast-forwarding time a little bit more, I suppose. Alright, time for the turn. Here we go. It's probably a little bit too late, but ah well. How much? Too late. Can't. Oh, I guess that's how much we missed right there. A little bit. Not too much, actually. Not as much as I thought we were going to miss, actually. I thought we were going to miss a lot more. Anyways, so I'm kind of... It's funny, I cut all this and now it's like, nope. It's going to regrow now, which is kind of funny, actually. So I think if we continue to use this field right here, field 53, we do have 50 down here we could use as well. But considering we have 100 horses, I'm going to try and stick with this one right here. I think I am going to get the chrome big X. I don't use it very much. So what I'll do is I might use the speed rower in the smaller area, which would make more sense. But this area, it's going to take just too long, basically. So of course, I'm talking about the Big M, not the Big X. Why do I call it the Big X all the time? This is the Big X. We could buy that too, actually. Actually, interesting story. I watched a guy on YouTube, Brian Scott, at thefarmerslife.com, I think it is. He actually used not a Krone, but he used a Claas Jaguar 980, and he was forage harvesting, and he used a drone to record it. It was really cool. I thought, at least. So we can also use this to forage harvest as well, which would be nice. So we'll be able to get a little bit of money from that. Should we get it? In reality, I could just get a small run. Well, let's get it. Let's have some fun. We have the money anyways, so and we'll be able to mow this field way quicker. So what I'll do is I guess I can't move it back at the moment, but I'll move this off camera to our field, and then I'll be able to use it up here in this 50 area right here, which will be a much better use for it than this enormous field, which I don't know. So let me give you a reason why I'm so like, yeah, we should probably try something else, because to do this little part right here, because we did what, 4 passes last time, so to do from there to here, I'm pretty sure it took real time like 2 hours, maybe it felt like an hour and a half, 2 hours, like somewhere in that area it seemed like, because you can only go 15 kilometers an hour maximum on that thing, and the width is not very big, and I can't do much else when I'm doing that because I have to drive it, so it's crazy. So that just gives you an idea. That's the reason why I'm kind of like, yeah, let's get that Chrome Big M. So anyways, that's the reason why we got it. But it also, that'll allow us to capitalize a bit on the BGA a little bit, because this does have a soil mod, so we will need to try and use that slurry probably as best as possible. So we'll see how we get that done. Anyways, let's get back to it's not in a group apparently. Let's get back to spraying here. Anyways, because we need to spray this field all together, and if we don't, well, it's not going to work out very well. So we'll do a couple more passes. I don't think we're going to get this field done this episode, because that would be a good half an hour, 40-minute episode probably of just spraying, I guess. Which does happen from time to time. Like in real farming, this is basically what it boils down to. Like you have to spray. So you're in the tractor, I guess, for a long periods of time. So it looks like you can kind of move that boom up and down, but as far as I know, there's no, you can't do anything with the boom, it seems, which is kind of sad. But I understand the reasons why, because this is a pretty basic. Like, as you can see, the textures aren't necessarily the most high end, so it's a kind of a basic sprayer. If you compare it to something like the Rogator, which is has a lot of detail in it, but still, it works. I don't know if it works with course play. I haven't tried that. It works with GPS. I know that much, which is good for us at least. So, if it didn't work with GPS, I would be doing a much worse job. Basically, I would be, let me just. We're still going over a little bit now, but not nearly as much as I would be doing it. Well, we're missing a little bit there. It's not terrible. I don't know. I guess that's what would happen in real life, something like that. I suppose. Either that, or do they do a headland first and then go up and down the field? One or the other, basically. Ah, well. Anyways, I think I'll stop the episode there for now, or else it'll be a lot of this. So we'll come back next episode, and we'll see if we're getting ready to harvest. We'll probably be close, I imagine. Somewhere like that. Probably close. Anyways, that's it for today, folks. A little bit of a shorter episode. My name is Iain Robson. This has been Farming Simulator 2013, coming at you from the Missouri map. Catch you guys later.